Let us begin our weekly ritual. There's a couple people typing. Go ahead and type. While we're doing the breathing practice, I won't be responding to the chat box, but as soon as we're done the first 5 minutes, I will respond to all of them. So we've got a wonderful group that's starting right now. So let us begin this morning's ritual with the heart focused breathing, the most basic of all HeartMath techniques that get you going. So let us place our awareness in the area of our heart, and let us begin to take slow, deep breaths and visualize these flowing in and out of our hearts, breathing slowly and gently and deeper than usual. Now, of course, you're breathing from your nose or your mouth, but this is just a visualization exercise. As you feel your chest rise and fall, just visualize this lovely breath flowing in and out of your heart area. And take it very slow and very gentle, almost like you're nurturing your body, almost like you're cradling a baby, and how you sway that baby gently and slowly. That's how you need to breathe, gentle and slow. Just feel your body calm right down. Feel all the anxiety melt away. And this is just you and us and all of us in this room who are looking to just feel our bodies move up and down with our chest. We'll do this for one more minute. Just keep taking those slow, deep breaths. Visualize them flowing in and out of your heart. Wonderful. Great practice, everyone. And now for the I didn't know that moment. Some of you may already have seen this video, but I'd like you to take a look at this and tell me your impressions of this particular video. So what did you think about this particular video? Any thoughts? Did you notice that there were two exactly same segments of the video in this 1 minute video, but there was something different about it? And what did you think the thing that was different about it resulted in you? That's right, Will and Lou. First was frantic and chaotic. Wendy, music made such a difference. Absolutely. And that's the point, is that both the segments, the 30-second segments each, were the same. The person sitting in a cab and is driving through the city, and he sees all this commotion around him, and the first half had this screeching music playing, second half had this symphony playing. And the question is, the symphony that's playing, when you're witnessing this, what does it make you feel like, even though things are unfolding around you? So Janet's comment is, the music changed it from stress to enjoying the scenery. Natalie, the music makes the music makes a difference. Yes. Carla, reminds me of how much my context or perspective makes on what I see and feel. And Wendy, low vibration music versus high vibration music. That's interesting perspectives, and music can change that. So the question I have for you is, what music is playing in your head when things are folding around you? Is the music that's playing in your head more of anxiety and stress? Then you will see the world from that particular lens. If inside of you the music is playing calm and collective, and you are at ease, everything folding around you just seems like a natural part of unfolding of life, and you will move through that life in that way. And so if you look at the photograph, those who are do have a smartphone or a desktop, if you're not on the phone, this photograph is of a man sitting atop a mountain, I presume, or a cliff. And the question is, on the caption is, what is this man feeling right now? And the theme of today is, can you be calm and stressed at the same time? Well, you saw in the taxi cab example, the man was sitting there, he was calm, and in one instance, I'm sure he felt a lot of stress with the music that was playing, and in the other, he was feeling very calm. So the question is, what is this man feeling right now? And when people are sitting around you, and you see them on a beach somewhere, and they're calm and looking outward, or if you are in the kitchen table somewhere and just looking out through your patio door, you could be at peace, you could be worrying, you could be in love, you could be depressed, all of these emotions. So what changes in you is what your emotions say. You could be excited and be angry, or you could be excited and have a positive outlook. And so your emotions actually drive your biology. And this is the message for today, is just because you are taking a vacation or going to a calm room doesn't mean that you are addressing stress head on. And the practice that we did before, the heart focused breathing, and the one we're about to do in a few seconds, is the technique to actually get your emotions lined up with peace and calm and serenity. Now I'm going to read a few more comments here. Keith, you see how you are feeling yourself. If you are calm, you see the calm. If you are stressed, frantic, you see those things that represent that. That's exactly right. The thing is, when you see things unfold around you, if you get drawn up into that, you get drawn up into stress and drama. But only because subconsciously you feel that you can't control things around you. And more so that you want to control things around you. A lot of people arrange their surroundings to actually take care of what they feel and how they feel. And to some extent, I think that's very good, because when you walk into a surrounding which has a peaceful, serene environment, it gets you there a lot faster. But in the end, if you're still frantic and you walk into a place of worship, nothing will change that unless you decide to actually draw in that peaceful energy. So Will and Lou, the universe always validates what we believe, yes, and feel. Yes, thank you. remember, the universe is in you, Lou and Will, and you have free will. And so when you actually choose to feel better, choose to draw for that, or draw upon that calming emotion, know that you have a choice, that you can actually feel differently. If you believe that you can only feel what others cause you to feel, then that is disempowering. And so the message today is you are in control of your feelings, that you don't have to feel bad. Yes, you may do that for maybe 30, 40 seconds, a few days, if it must come to that, depending on the emotional trauma. But in the end, you can entice your body to feel differently. And that's the next phase. So I want you to now think of, as we go to the next breathing technique, I want you to think of something that actually allows you to feel better. So reach for that positive feeling where you are, where you've been before, where you felt amazing, where you felt excited or positive. And you reach for that emotion next when we go through this technique, because your body won't know the difference whether you are actually feeling it in real time or you are imagining it. Your body will respond the same. So let us try this. Let us try this. So let's place awareness in the area of our heart, and let us take slow, deep breaths and visualize these flowing in and out of your heart. The first two steps are heart-focused breathing, which we did earlier. And the third step is experience a positive feeling, such as love, appreciation, and peace. And know that that is like the music that you choose to tune into when things are unfolding around you. And if you put a gentle smile on your face, it'll entice the body to go that much more into that positive feeling. Take those slow, deep breaths and visualize them flowing in and out of your heart, and experience a positive feeling. Are you taking deep breaths and experiencing love as it flows into your heart, and appreciation and gratitude, and as it flows out of your heart? Beautiful. And that brings us to the end of this 15-minute segment. You are more than welcome to stick around for the Q&A if you have any. I'll be here for another 15 minutes. We usually have some good questions, so please start typing into your chat area. For those of us here who have to exit, take my thanks and gratitude, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Any questions? Incidentally, I'm putting together a list of a little ebook thing of the top 7 questions that I get asked all the time, and I'll make that available to you guys, everyone on this call and others on my list. So be on the lookout for that. It'll take me a week or two to put it together, edit it, and all that stuff. Natalie has a statement here. I am often calm on the outside, very aware of my surrounding, but feel stressed inside. What to do? And that's really the point of this picture, is when you look at this photograph. It's going to come up on my screen in a second. You are calm. This person sitting here on the photograph is calm. and yet you are stressed on the inside. And that's the important part, is that the only difference, being calm on the outside, sometimes we're calm on the outside if we're feeling defeated or if we surrender. We become calm and we become disempowered. So you have to ask yourself, Natalie, what are you feeling when you're calm on the outside? Do you feel disempowered? Do you feel defeated? If you're feeling at peace, then that's not being stressed on the inside. And I know you have the M-Wave unit, because you purchased that. And so when you're calm on the outside and you feel that you're in the zone, then put that M-Wave unit on, and let science tell you objectively whether you are stressed on the inside or not. And if you're not, then use the heart focused breathing technique, use the inner ease technique, and some of the techniques that you will be introduced to in the next 3 weeks, starting tomorrow morning, in the 21-day journey that you are participating. So I don't know if that answers your question, but I think you should put the M-Wave unit on and see what what it tells you. It's exactly for that purpose that that technology has been developed by HeartMath. There's some people, because they've been feeling so in certain ways, they're feeling depressed, stressed for such a long time. Not saying that you are, but it's made for people who do not know what the reference point is, because they forgot it. They felt it, maybe a few months ago or many years ago, but they've never really come back to that point. And so this particular technique allows you to get back to that reference point. Carla, what do you find best for allowing yourself to feel calm and peace when you are grieving and in transition to that more peaceful place? Grieving, yes, that's a very powerful emotion. There's a sense of abandonment. There's a sense of guilt. There's a sense of, I could have done differently. I could have spent more time, etc., etc. So the grieving part is a very strong emotion. And I actually have a situation. I had a situation where one of my clients couldn't feel any emotions. Actually, she came to me. She says, "I don't feel any emotions," and she didn't believe that the HeartMath practices would do that. And of course, the most basic HeartMath techniques, it would take a while for them to do that. But what I did for her was I showed her a more advanced HeartMath technique, and that is basically just when you do the heart focused breathe or heart quick coherence technique that we just did, with injecting appreciation and love in our hearts. Basically, the next step is then to send that love to the rest of our body. So we visualize being quenched, every cell of our body being quenched by that love, from the top of our heads to the bottom of our feet. And then we would send it out to the loved ones we are grieving for or of. So we would then send that energy out. And that is the most powerful feeling. Within 2 minutes, her grief had melted. I mean, she was crying. She was starting to feel love and emotions. And, she often comes to some of my workshops because that is a technique that has worked for her. So, Carla, to answer your question, allowing yourself is really a permission thing, is really for you to reach for that. An intermediate step for that. Because it's very hard when you're in that grief mode, in that despair mode, to actually say, oh, now I'm going to reach for compassion, because that's a huge leap for somebody in that area. So the thing that I would suggest, an intermediate step, is to go outside in nature, if nature is what really calms you. Or look at videos of beaches. Whatever calms you, look at those videos of children playing, of animals. As a matter of fact, if you've joined the group, Your Happy Thoughts channel on Facebook, I actually have that group for that very purpose, because it's very hard to reach for that situation where you are going from grief to compassion and love and laughter, unless you have somebody from the outside entice you to do that. And so that Happy Thoughts channel Facebook group actually has a lot of videos, a lot of memes, a lot of things that allow you to then get that lighter feeling because you're laughing all the time with the videos that I put up there. They're nothing but inspirational videos. And from that vantage point, from that particular plateau, you can then begin your heart-focused breathing technique or your quick coherence technique. And when you do that, it actually breaks you through that barrier. So I would say, Carla, if any of your clients or yourself are feeling low, go to the Happy Thoughts channel, see if there's any video there, and see if it makes a difference for you. And if it does, I would love it, and the rest of us would love to hear about it. I've heard people tell me that is their go-to place to help them get out of the funk. As a matter of fact, it is my go-to place now. Once in a while, I get down into my funk areas, and everybody does. I'm no different than any of you. So I do that, and I have to go to the Happy Thoughts channel, or I watch The Office on Netflix, and that always picks me up. So there are many things you can do. Thank you for asking that question, Carla. Janet, for me too, busy. Can't imagine someone running a corporation. Constant interruptions, mind not calming but wandering too often. Yeah, too busy. And the thing about some of the techniques that I've shown you that's so different from the mindfulness techniques, for example, they all have their place. Yoga, Tai Chi. I think everybody should practice. I practice yoga. The thing about yoga, Tai Chi, and mindfulness is you have to set some time aside to do these practices. When you're busy in corporations or you're engaged in life, you sometimes do not have the time to get away and do that. So HeartMath practice is made for that. It's actually made for allowing you in the moment to be able to do these breathing techniques, and others won't even know you're doing it. And it has worked for people. It has actually calmed the situation down. I had one of my participants in the coaching program that you're in, Janet. You might have heard this particular person who said that she walked into a room and she had there were two people who were in a tense discussion. It was very uncomfortable, and she wasn't involved in this conversation, nor could she intervene. But she was feeling that her presence, because she was practicing this technique for about 14 days or so, that her presence actually diffused the situation and calmed people down. She sincerely felt that. And that's, of course, and then the next session that I talked about it during the 21-day journey, I showed you the science behind that. So, Janet, if you are being surrounded by frenziness in your workplace, it's like the cab driver, or in the cab example that we had, where you can turn on the internal music that you want so that everything around you flows and that you will be calm and you will have a lot more time between choice points to make your decision, so you don't get caught up in that frenzy. Just like Keith said earlier, it's what's going on in your head that you perceive what's going on outside you. Carla, you're most welcome. Yes, Janet, work on the music. And you know what? If you've got an iPod, put a calming music on. There's nothing wrong with that. You're not cheating the system when you do that. Sometimes I put calming music on and it calms me down. Use all the props you can find to do that. And when you're surrounded by frenzy, because everybody who's going into frenzy state, they're choosing to do it. When you stay calm, people who come and talk to you will calm down. And when they leave your area and they go talk to somebody else, the other people will calm down. And it'll be like a domino effect. So be the lighthouse that you are, that you all are. So thank you so much for those questions. It's wonderful. I might even put that into one of my top 7 coaching questions that I get asked, because this comes up a lot. So thank you so much. Are there any other questions before we wave goodbye to you? I see no one typing in. Well, I'm always available and by email if anybody wants to get a hold of me. And like I said, look out for the ebook that I'll be sending out, the top 7 questions that people ask me and my responses to that. And I look forward to chatting with you again next week. Thank you, Natalie. My pleasure. And Will and Lou, see you tomorrow night. Actually, Will, tomorrow morning, 9 a.m., remember? Tomorrow morning, Tuesday's 9 a.m. It was evenings on Wednesdays, the last one. That's right. I'm sure I sent out a reminder. If I did, I'm going to check on it. Anar, you're most welcome. Thank you so very much, everyone. And blessings to all of you.